So good to see you. We are doing a slightly different timing on this, but this is our lifestyle channel, and we're talking about health issues. And specifically, we have this new technology, or it's new to us, it's not new to Norman, called Immunotec, which if you have any questions about needing needing glutathione. This is a glutathione specific thing that it also works on other levels, but it's a great source of good health, as is the Lifewave patches, and they work stunningly together. Here comes Grant.
Yay,
Yeah,
grandson.
grandson. Okay, so they work very well together. I wanted to just spend a few minutes introducing Norman, because it's we meet with Norman because we love to talk to Norman, and I don't have much time during the day
What happened?
to.
Here, how do you get?
I'll get it. I'll do it.
See?
It's very easy.
You have to let him in. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, saw him.
Okay, hang on one second. We'll be right there. So I just wanted to do this introduction because as we evolve into this broadcast, as we pursue this broadcast, which I think I'm doing like 3 major broadcasts. I do the live one, I do the Republic, and now I'm doing the live. So I think this is an important discussion that we have, because people on the channel, they want to talk about health issues. They want to talk a little bit about Lifewave. They're going to want to talk about Immunotec. But the reason why I feel this is so important, among other things, and the reason this is kind of an evolving thing, that we're, hashkacha pratis, it's kind of like divine providence. One of the reasons that we love talking to Norman is, and Grant, of course, but Norman specifically, because he knows so much and he's so focused on research around health issues, as is my partner, Daniela. Daniela is 24/7, man. She's checking things out. Things that we're totally okay with one day, the next day she's telling me we can never do that again. She's on it all the time. Now, what I didn't realize, or didn't really gel in my mind, is that Norman has 40 years, correct? 40 plus years experience working in the business of organic foods, of food service. He's a tremendous source of information. You're not going to go to your doctor and find out anything about nutrition or about food. They don't know anything about it. They want to give you a shot. They want to give you a medicine. They're basically drug pushers. But Norman is in an unusual situation in that he has studied what we are working on now. So we're all working basically on carnivore diets or keto diets. We're eating organic food to the best of our ability. And we're trying to wade our way through this incoming tide of the new world, where we are living in a world where the government is not actively trying to kill you, where you are living with good health, with prosperity, you live a good life, and you're not hampered by the creepazoid parasite transnational cartel that is hell-bent on keeping you in the fear space and feeding you food that's poison, giving you medicine that's designed to keep you sick, no cures, keeping you away from natural cures. So this is a very unusual, in my mind, time period in the history of mankind's development, and that we are coming to a place. There are a lot of scattered there. I know there are a zillion health people in the world. We're just kind of looking at the general picture of what works for us. And I would say that of all the people that I know, that Norman is the go-to man for us, because we are constantly evolving, changing our changing the things that we eat. We went from, and this is a question I want to ask Norman right from the get-go. We went from eating popcorn like once a week. It's, we make it ourselves. We make it in olive oil. And now Danielle has insisted that we switch to beef tallow to make our popcorn. And she has asked the question, is corn Is it GMO? Is it a real thing?
Because I know Norman doesn't like corn.
We know that Norman doesn't like corn. So is corn something we should be eating? We don't eat. I mean, the only corn we get is popcorn, but it's organic and it's multicolored and all that. And they say it's heirloom corn. But what are your feelings about corn?
Well, I think that I don't think any of us really know for certain, what the corn seed and what corn, is it non-GMO? Is it not non-GMO? Is it not GMO? And it brings into question the suspicion about the organizations that give the certification. Like I've seen a lot of packages that, for example, with not just corn but anything, that just they say non-GMO. It's not the GMO certification logo, but even if it was, I'm saying that, and particularly based on your introduction, which, by the way, thank you very much. I don't really deserve all that, but based on your introduction about, the powers that be, like, why couldn't we consider that they're lying to us about GMO corn or non-GMO corn? So the reason I don't eat corn, though, is because I have found that everything starts in the mouth as far as digestion. How much you chew and the condition of your saliva, meaning is your saliva rich with enzymes and probiotic, which is natural, or is it sort of compromised? But it's hard, for me anyhow, it's hard to chew popcorn to the point where there's this old saying, drink your food and chew your liquids. Have you ever heard that expression? No, so chewing your liquid means drinking slowly, and drinking your food means literally chewing 50, 60, whatever, however many times it takes to completely masticate it. And I can't do that. And so as a result, corn has a tendency to get stuck. I'm just saying some of it, and I'm going to try to be gross here, but I always have trouble pronouncing the word, but it's those parts of your intestinal tract where things can get stuck, embedded. Now, having said all that, getting an heirloom organic corn grown in Mexico, where corn is from, ultimately, not the US, cooking it in beef tallow. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that, So, and once a week versus every night, or once every 2 weeks versus, twice a day, whatever, So I'm not here to say nobody should eat corn. I'm just saying that there are some of the pitfalls. If your digestion's amazing and you don't have any problem with your gut, then go for it. But yet do like what you're doing, which is, because when you heat olive oil or you heat even avocado oil, it's not the best thing to do. How do you make the corn, by the way? Like a cast iron skillet, or?
We could do it in cast iron, but we have a stainless steel pot with a glass top, and we heat up the oil. And I know.
Yeah, I can't eat too much popcorn either. It gets
right. And we see Kenzo is saying no popcorn for me, saying I can't pronounce it either.
Diverticulitis.
Diverticulitis, right.
So that's the condition. What Kenzo said, is it Kenzo?
Yeah.
That's the condition. But it's the diverticula is where we're talking about it getting stuck. And diverticulitis would be like, where you've already developed a kind of a problem.
Right. I mean, so much of.
So listen, so if you eat popcorn and you don't experience any discomfort, any bloating, any, acid reflux, if you don't, if you're not having any issues, maybe some of the things you're doing is mitigating it. But where you get into a lot of trouble, obviously, is with corn chips. I mean, have you been in the grocery store lately where you notice that it's now like widely it's changing. The question is it changing for the better, where there's no seed oils in this and there's no seed oils in that and there's no seed oil, and what are they using? They're using avocado oil, or they're using olive oil. There's chips now, I know you guys know this, made with tallow. So those are all sort of like, they look like positive things, but at the end of the day, is a corn chip that used to be made with safflower oil or sunflower oil better for you now that it's made with avocado oil? I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, that's, as a former chemistry teacher, one of the assignments I used to love to give to people is find out about MSG. And there are 50 different ways of saying MSG. And I've seen products that say no MSG, but they have hydrolyzed soy protein, which is another word for MSG. They're just calling it by a different name. They're actually saying no MSG, but they have hydrolyzed soy protein.
Or there's a lot of things being hidden in the expression natural flavors.
Yeah.
Right.
We have
Yeah.
no idea no idea.
Yeah.
Hi, Mom.
Hey, Mom. And
My mom's in the chat.
Yeah, I
she's in the-
saw that. She said hi from Summerlin.
she lives
She's
in
a
Suffolk.
she's a neighbor. She's a neighbor.
Yes,
Bob.
yeah. So okay, so that kind of clears it up. But in other words, we need to be wary, even though, I mean, especially when they say healthy food and this kind of stuff, you really have to read the label. And Danielle I'm just notorious for saying, okay, I really want this stuff. We don't eat very much produce food. Everything is pretty much cooked from scratch. But we've been traveling a lot lately, and we get hungry sometimes, and we have to. Yeah.
And I can't eat much fruit either, because I noticed when I ate fruit salad for like 4 days in a row, I got 2 small rashes on my left thumb. I was like, that's probably from having too much sugar, even if it's natural.
Well, and it may not be the sugar. It may be that everything that we buy is labeled organic, but who
we
the
use
hell
baking
knows?
soda.
Well, we use a little baking soda, right? But who the hell knows if it's really organic? I had a person on I think it was last night. They said that when they harvest grapes, they're all sprayed. They just put them in different bags. They just put the same grapes in a bag that says organic.
Well, I mean, I think I might have mentioned this some time ago. I lived on the East Coast up until 2019, and for so from the late 1970s clear up till 2019, one of my best friends is a farmer, and to this day, as far as I know, he's still farming in Western PA, just above the Maryland line. And he is an organic farmer without organic certification, and a member of the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture, and which is, by the way, probably one of the better departments in the entire country. And one of the reasons he doesn't get organic certification is because he doesn't use organic pesticides. I mean, can you think about the fact that there's such an expression as organic pesticide, organic fertilizer, organic herbicide? I mean, it's like they're sort of, what's the word? They're certainly incongruous. And
oxymoron, I think, is what you're looking at.
Oxymoron. Thank you, Grant. So he
I'm oxymoron.
So he had developed over the years by experimentation, like garlic and all these different things. And if I tell you that he's got the best fruit trees in the best apple trees in the entire country, I think I could say that without even knowing who else. And apple varieties you've never even heard of, because at the turn of the last century, there were like over 100 apple varieties in the United States. Now you go into the store, it's red apples, it's Red Delicious, it's Granny Smith, and maybe 2 or 3 other varieties, and that's it. They've all almost disappeared. Well, on his farm, he started to be able to bring them all back, and we used to buy them by the crate. It was amazing. Anyhow, I'm just saying that you're right. How do we know if it's organic? And if it is organic, and it meets their standards, but the standards aren't, you know what I mean? Like you can use organic sprays, you know.
Tell 'em about those.
I have a friend who thinks organic certification is really bogus. This is a different friend, but you know, so I don't know. I mean, I do the same thing. I buy organic. I try to buy it from farmers. You know, yesterday I went to my friend who's a farmer, and I bought a half a gallon of raw goat milk. But I bought her sourdough bread, by the way. It's amazing. And I bought eggs. And, you know, buying eggs from her versus buying eggs from the store. Buying milk from her, well, you can't get raw goat milk from the store here. Buying bread that you know is made with a certain kind of flour, and it's all sourdough. You know, so we do.
I like corn flour and the sourdough.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, and that's the thing. Where does einkorn flour come from? It comes from Italy. It doesn't, you know, it's not, I'm not aware of einkorn. Well, I mean, I guess anybody could grow it, but on a big scale, I don't know there's any USA einkorn flour.
We've been growing trees for our property, fruit trees.
Yeah,
And we called a company in Georgia, and we asked if somebody needs to mute. Grant, you need to mute.
I don't think I have any noise back here, but I'll go ahead and mute.
Yeah, that's a lot better. Okay, so we're looking for fruit trees that are organic. So I got a company in Georgia. They said, well, we only use USDA approved pesticides. We only use the organic approved pesticides. I'm like, well, what does that tell me? So, I mean, here we are, we're coming out of an age where we're finding out the government tries to kill us with vaccines. The government tries to make us sick with food, with medicine, with chemtrails. We are really pioneers in a sense, forging a new way of understanding that will hopefully morph into an age where we don't have to worry about these issues, where you go to the grocery store and you're getting clean food. If the transnational criminal organization is being destroyed piece by piece, but we also have to be responsible and careful that we get the right thing. So I
think it's still, listen, I think we cut ourselves a little slack. I think it's still better to eat from the perimeter of the grocery store, regardless of, these considerations. It's still better. I think you guys told me once that one of Daniela's doctors said about meat eating, that it was better to just eat this than if you couldn't get this or whatever, it still was better. And I think that that's the point. So because our bodies are pretty resilient, but I also think that's why it's so important, not to come back to a plug here, but that it's important to like detoxing is not something that's optional anymore. It's not something that you do once every 3 months. It's not something that you do differently or whatever. It's something you got to really be concerned about it every day, because there's probably not a symptom that we experience, or an illness that, God forbid, we experience that isn't related to heavy metals. It's just unfortunate. It's unavoidable. It's in the air, it's in the food, it's in the water, it's in the sprays, it's in everything. We live next to a park that we used to take the dogs to walk in, until I found out that they were spraying weeds with a version of glyphosate. Mm-hmm. And so then I started a campaign I was writing to the city, and I started this campaign And then eventually they succumbed and they said they were switching to an organic spray.
Jeez.
And I said, send me the label. And it was caprylic acid and then some other inert ingredients. And they were like, the studies say that this is better. And I was like, okay, but can I ask you a question? Why can't you just pick the weeds out of the ground? You got all these like.
I heard you can pour boiling hot water on it. It will kill the weeds.
Yeah, I mean, like when they come to do, when the landscaping company comes to the park, there's a gazillion Hispanic people. Let's just say it like that. There's a ton of them, and there's not that many weeds. They want a perfect green grass. I get it. I don't mind green grass either. I like it, particularly here in Vegas. But why can't they just go physically remove the weeds?
Yeah.
So they spray. Now they say they're spraying something different, and yet on the label there's a caution. If you inhale this or you get it in your eyes within the first 48 hours, 24 to 48 hours, and then there's, it's like picking up the label on a medicine or asking somebody to tell you what vaccine, what are they injecting you with? It's like, who would ever do it if you saw the labels?
You want to talk about the blueberries, about using the salt water, or what you found?
Yeah. So I saw a video of larvae actually exiting blueberries, like these little white wormy looking things coming out of organic blueberries. And so what was the solution? I mean, they may very well be there. So it's not you don't have a choice, in terms of like, you didn't grow them necessarily, but even if you did, maybe. So the reason you soak them in water is to get whatever surface residue there might be off. But then you dump a bunch of salt in there, and the salt pulls the insects and pulls the larvae out into the surface. I used to manage restaurants, kosher restaurants, and they used a black light, and it's amazing unless you look really closely. And let's say you do this, salt or detergent or fruits and vegetables cleansers or whatever the case may be. Unless you look, you won't see the insects because they're very, very, very. They're not microscopic, but they're really, really small. But the larvae you can see. You once they start to exit the berries. So yeah. So you said how much? So I mean, look, if you had a pint of blueberries, I think that's the way they're usually sold for quart. I would use a couple tablespoons of salt.
Okay, not much.
Now, the other thing that's really interesting from a cosmetic standpoint is once you do that and then you rinse them a couple times, they really look nice. Their color is much, much better, and
Nice.
theoretically they're a lot safer.
Well, why wouldn't you want to use baking soda? Is that like different?
No, you could use baking soda. You could use borax, or you could use a combination. Maybe a little bit of baking soda and a little bit of salt.
Okay.
But I mean, I used to watch this chef, and he used Dawn dish detergent. I'm like, why did you do that?
Why?
I mean, it worked. It worked, but
Seriously.
it had a negative effect. You know what I mean? Like it worked, but it really wasn't any much better for you. So,
Okay, so let me change the subject just a little bit to the idea of nanoparticles. Now we have been taking this Immunotec remedy for a while, although we stopped for a little while because Danielle.
hey Ellie, the best thing, if you can, I'm working on this myself. So it's just a suggestion, but it's Immunotec precursors. Glutathione precursors. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Right. So part of the reason we want to do this broadcast is to encourage people to try this Immunotec precursors because they build a glutathione they build glutathione, which is a master antioxidant in your body. Danielle, I was saying it's expensive.
Oh
Daniela
yeah, so
says,
I wanted to say, so once you sign up, I don't know if you have to get the one that we got the first time, Norman, where you pay like over $500. Do you have to get
No,
that
no,
first?
no. You don't have to get. No, you don't have to at all. You can. Hold on. I'm logging into Immunotec for just for a second.
Yeah, because I know once you sign up, you get like 30% off of everything.
right, once you sign
Yeah.
up, it's kind of like the Lifewave thing.
Yeah.
When you become a
So if
brand,
somebody, right. So if somebody goes to any one of the three of us, any one of our links, there is going to be across the top. There's a bar, commissions, organization, whatever, all these different things, and enroll. And when you enroll, you can enroll as a customer, or you can enroll as a consultant. If you enroll as a customer, you just want to buy the product and try it. It gives you a selection of products that you can try, you can order. And if you enroll as a consultant, then what happens is the type of product, the type of bundles, if you will, changes, because they're different processes. I mean, different processes. So, but if somebody wanted to, okay, so the main product is Immunocal. The all natural protein with the highest biological value of any edible protein, and clinically proven and tested and patented to raise glutathione in the body. It's $78. Platinum is $114, and Sport is $118. Either one of those, I mean, is fine, and the least expensive is the main one, or is the original one, so it's $78.
and
But
that's for months. That's for really a month's supply.
that's a month's supply. Yeah. So, it's cheaper than a cup of coffee at Starbucks or wherever you buy coffee. Immunocal booster, though, is the reds and greens booster that's made up with 50 fruits and vegetables, organic, by the way, and that's $56. So really, the way to get started, because you can't take the Immunocal by itself. It just, A, it doesn't taste good, and B, there's things in the booster that help the whey protein and bonded cysteine to do its job. One of which is, I think I've talked about this before, is broccoli sprouts. So let's say that 78 and 56 together is like 130. That's the best way to start if you just want to start as a customer.
Right. And by the way, if you sign up, I mean, we are in this together. You can call Norman. You can say you want to sign up under Daniela. You can sign up under me. You can, this is a group effort, and we would welcome people to try the technology and work with us to find other customers. Your son put out an interesting video, and he said that you only need, this is a little different from Lifewave. Lifewave, you need to produce a lot of downline, a big productive downline. But
they're upping their commission.
Right. But actually they're upping their commission. I'm not knocking Lifewave. I love Lifewave. We swear by Lifewave, and we take Lifewave in conjunction with the Immunotec glutathione
really
precursors. So we do both. But the payback, according to your son, is on a little bit of a higher level if you get involved as a business. You'd only need a limited amount of people that take it to generate a fairly a nice comfortable, a little bit of an income, a little bit of an extra income. They're both good that way. My question is,
the strategy is really simple. It's really simple. If you decide you want to become either a customer or a consultant, but like, let's say you decide you want to become a consultant, meaning or let's say you've been a customer like you guys, and you say, you know what, this is this is really helping me. It's helping me be more social, as Danielle has said before. It's helping, me sleep better. Whatever the glutathione enhancing is doing. By the way, it's got to be doing all of the above, because every cell in the body needs glutathione. So, if that process takes place, you've signed up, you've bought the product, you've tried it for a month or so, and you see these results, the next thing you really want to do is just to find 3 other people. You don't have to find 50. You don't have to find 100. You don't have to find 1,000. You just have to find 3 that family, friends, acquaintances, 3 that that could benefit it from the way. And usually we know 3 people. Like I knew 2 people. You know what I mean? 2 days ago, check this out. 2 days ago, my wife signed up with a personal trainer. She's like, what, I've become too, I'm sitting around too much. So, and the guy comes to the house, and he's a physical therapist, and they go into a part of the house and they work, for an hour on exercise and fitness. But most of all, it's driven by PT, by physical therapy, because he knows about hip alignment, and he knows about neck, and he knows about this, he knows about that. You know what I mean? Like, so it's a combination of things. So I made him a body shot. We what the body shot is. People that are listening, the body shot is how you make the glutathione precursor. It's what I said before. It's the Immunocal plus the booster plus some cold water or some other cold liquid. Shake it up. I can send somebody the video. And you drink it in the morning, but I want to talk about the evening too. But you drink it in the morning. So anyhow, I made it for him, and he was like, he has clients, a lot of clients, and he recommends certain things to the clients. So he said, when you get a chance, can you send me some information about it? Because you could tell he was a researcher. A lot of people, rightfully so, they don't take your word for it just because you say something, right? So I sent them Dr. Jimmy Gutman's videos, where on his YouTube channel, he speaks directly to health professionals. And Andre's a health professional. His name's Andre. So I sent him the video. I sent him another video that talks about the benefits of glutathione. Then I sent him the link to the 125 pages of research and studies, sent that to him. And then I sent him a video of my son, because my son was who introduced me to it. So I didn't know Andre until he walked into the house. I never even heard of him. My wife found him. And what I have discovered is that's just the way it works. People come into your life. Like I have a plumber. This guy had to fix something for us. I don't know, 6-7 months ago. And I said to him, "Have you ever heard of Immunocal?" He said, "Of course." He said, "I'm from Mexico." It's like everybody in Mexico knows Immunocal. So I said, "Well, can I get you? What? He said, "Yeah. Send it to me. I'll sign up." So, because he didn't know that it existed in the States. So I'm not saying there's not a place for being aggressive, particularly if you want to make some money. I'm just saying that there is a, I guess you'd say, a law of attraction, and I also sent this video of this guy in this, I think I sent it to you guys. This guy in the street, and he's interviewing young people about what is glutathione, and they have no clue.
Oh, yeah, I saw that online.
Yeah, it's like going into a college campus and ask them who the Secretary of State is. It was hysterical, the responses. But it's funny and it's not funny, because what's been hidden from us is really how our body works and what we're supposed to do for ourselves, ultimately. And like you said, Ellie, I mean, you're much more eloquent about it than I am. So Yeah, I mean, it's something that I think everybody should really at least take a serious look at.
Let me ask you a question. Now we use the
Oh,
glutathione.
hold on one second. I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Can you hold the question? I just wanted to tell you, because Daniela asked me about cortisol. So there are studies now, they're coming out. Symbiotica did one, another company did one, and they did them partially because they have a product that they believe works, which is glutathione, but also because it's just a subject of study now, increasingly, that glutathione lowers cortisol levels. Cortisol is the most important stress hormone, right? Produced by our adrenal glands, and it's something, if in excess, that could, certainly keep you up at night. So one of the things that and then there's another study that says creatine
Shooting.
also helps with cortisol levels. So the platinum, not the Immunocal, but the Immunotec platinum, which I mentioned when I was on the website, when I said I went to the website. So there's Immunocal, and then there's Immunocal platinum, and they say that this is a formula for healthy aging, but it has some modulating ingredients, including creatine. And what I'm sort of suggesting, and I was suggesting this specifically because of what Danielle asked me about, was maybe taking the platinum late in the day.
Okay. Okay. So
when we have more.
yeah. So a question that I want to ask, and this is like the question of the day. Really, this is the most important thing in my mind for us to be considering, and that is, does glutathione remove nanoparticles? Because we take the glutathione patches, which Dr. Stacy says increases your glutathione level by 300%. We also take the whey protein precursors. Is this enough to eradicate the nanoparticles that they're saying? They're injecting everything with nanoparticles. It's in the sky, it's in the water, it's in the food. So and this is the real key element in our lives moving forward, is not to become AIs, not to become a transhuman, we're like heirloom. We're like heirloom species. We didn't get the vaccination, but even if a lot of people did get the vaccination and they have nanoparticles in their body.
Yeah, like only 15% didn't get vaccinated.
Right, only 15% didn't get. We were of that 15%, and I lost my job. I lost my, I paid heavily for not getting vaccinated. Grant, you're still making noise. No, Grant's on mute. It's not Grant. Okay, I got you. Okay, but anyway, does the Immunocal, does the heightening of glutathione levels from Lifewave? This is like we're really upping our glutathione level. Does the master antioxidant? Is there any? Have you run across any information saying that it will reduce the amount of nanoparticles in your body?
Yes, the answer is yes. So what you're asking is about what they call the mechanism of action of glutathione, and the research suggests that it can bind to certain nanoparticles, which then means that they can be removed from the cells or the tissues or wherever they've been, hiding, so to speak. It can reduce. I remember I talked about heavy metals. It can reduce metal ions in the nanoparticles, altering their structure and their what they call solubility, which means now they're more easily eliminated either through urine or feces or sweating or whatever the case may be. Um, and, um, and there's also something, I'm not sure, I don't know that I understand this particular one really well, but it can make them less harmful. So the first two examples I gave was binding and eliminating, making more water, making soluble, and then being eliminated. But this third one is where it actually just somehow makes them less harmful. Again, that the third one I don't understand quite as well, but the overall answer is yes. And the fact of the matter is, if you're not, and this goes back to what I said earlier, if you're not detoxing, then those nanoparticles are building up in tissue and in cells, and sooner or later, it's a problem. Particularly if you have other maybe lifestyle challenges or pre-existing conditions or whatever the case may be. Yeah, or you're in an environment. Look, you guys live 4,000 feet up a mountain, right? I don't. But what I'm saying is, imagine if somebody lived on the Upper West Side of New York, or I don't know, downtown LA or in the heart of Singapore. I mean, there's a difference in terms of the environmental effect, the environmental toxins, in terms of quantity. It's just a fact of where you live.
Hey Norman, it looks like you have red light on your laptop, or is that a lamp you're using? Nice.
Yeah, I switched to red light. I have a couple of them, and it's the only thing I use during the daytime.
Yeah, yeah, I heard that you could actually put the red light on your laptop too. There's a setting you can do that.
Oh, is there? Okay,
Yeah.
well, I have that new laptop. I'll have to look for it.
Yeah, welcome to my world. This is Danielle. Suddenly it's like we got to get rid of all the lights. I'm like, we can't. We can't if we were trying to buy groceries, but we have to get rid of all the lights.
This company that I bought the bulbs from is an amazing company. And I mean, look, they're a little pricey. First of all, you can't go into Home Depot and get an incandescent bulb. They're outlawed. They're not outlawed. I don't know if they're outlawed, but they're discontinued.
Yeah, you can't get them.
Yeah.
You can't get them.
It's crazy.
All right. Well, Grant, I really appreciate. I really appreciate your patience. I know you have a lot to share.
Have Grant talk.
So, Grant, why don't you unmute yourself and maybe you could share a little bit. And let me switch to you. If you call Norman for Immunotec, he will sign us up. He will sign you up under us. But if you want to sign for Lifewave, come to the other channel and we'll share the links. But you could sign up if you send me a message and you want to sign up under Grant or under Norman in terms of Lifewave. Just let me know.
We'd also love to hear from people. Maybe they have suggestions themselves or experiences themselves or questions or things that we could research or explore or whatever. So I mean, whether you're signing up or you're not, I mean, let's get some if we could get some dialogue going.
Right. And also
what I would like to have on the channel too is some Amish person or someone, because I know they don't go to doctors or they don't
go to dentists.
Yeah,
what do they do? What are we doing wrong here? But and also let me just say this: if somebody really wants to come on the channel, which is no big deal, it's very easy for me to send you a link, and you can come and share with us if you have some information that you feel is going to be incredibly valuable, or just whatever. But reach out to us. I appreciate that, Norman. That's really
There's somebody on the chat from the Netherlands. That was pretty cool.
Pretty amazing. Okay, I'm sorry, Grant. Go ahead. Take it away.
Well, I've been doing quite a bit of stuff. I guess it's been like 3 weeks since I've been on. I've been busy with the re-inhabited republic, quite busy actually, and so I haven't had a whole lot of time to dedicate to my research. But what I have done is I've been trying different things. I guess I'm kind of a rogue when it comes to that, as I'm going to do my research and then I'm going to try it, and do process eliminations. Does this give me a benefit? Does this not give me a benefit? One thing that I've been doing is I take the methylene blue, and I hated it at first because everything was blue. My tongue was blue, my teeth were blue, everything was turning blue. And so I found a encapsulated methylene blue, and I take that as a gel cap, and the only thing you get is a little bit of discoloration in your urine, which for me that's not a big deal because it's mixed in, and so it doesn't stain your toilet or anything. I know that some people complain about that, believe it or not. So, oh, my toilet's turning blue and I can't get it off. This product that I've been using, you can get it on Amazon. It's relatively inexpensive, but I searched through a lot of products that were of this type before I decided on the one I'm using. And I have noticed that my cognitive recovery has been quite substantial. A lot of you don't know, but I had a stroke back in 2022, and for the first 6 months, I could barely talk. It was pretty bad. And what happened to me, I believe, I've been doing research on it, and I've come to the conclusion that the reason why I had a stroke is that I suspect that they either swabbed me with the COVID test, or that they actually vaccinated me. I have no way to prove it, and I'm not sure how to even test myself if I have been, but I have been doing massive detox on anything and everything that I can get to detox with, to remove whatever. Maybe it's shedding, maybe it's because I actually did get COVID, one of the first in my area. And then maybe residuals from that. I'm not sure. But in any case, my cognitive abilities and skills were dramatically impaired, and I suffer with a loss of equilibrium from the stroke, which has been improving, partly because I've been doing physical therapy, the vestibular I guess they call it vestibular retooling, where they help you teach your brain to compensate for the loss of the alignment in the crystals in your inner ear. And so that's definitely been helping. My balance is getting better. I'm to the point now with the methylene blue that I don't stutter nearly as much as I was previously, and I really believe wholeheartedly that has been an improvement for me because of that product. The other thing that I've been doing is I came across quite a bit of research about hydrogen peroxide, and I don't know if any of you had any exposure to that research, but the one that I'm doing is supposed to be a good detox, and that's you start off with like 3 drops of 6% pharmaceutical grade, and you drop it. You're leaving. Mm-hmm. Say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Where are you off to?
I have an appointment.
Okay. I'll see you later.
Hey, Grant, before you
Yeah.
go, I want to make a comment before you go on to hydrogen peroxide, which I use every day, by the way. So, did you know that methylene blue is
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
methylene blue is the parent molecule for hydroxychloroquine and chloroquine. Those drugs that are commonly used to treat malaria, but also you heard about them during COVID-19. They were hard to get, just like with ivermectin. They were hard to get because of the government.
Right.
But hydroxychloroquine and also methylene blue They think that methylene blue, everybody talks about methylene blue being like this, textile dye, but it was the first synthetic drug that was developed in the 1800s. So it's been around for a long time. They use it in emergency rooms. It's like something else. It's like anything else that's coming back and being discovered. My son actually sells pharmaceutical grade methylene blue, but I never talk about it because I personally don't have any experience with it. I don't take it, but I only like to sort of try to talk about things that I know a little bit about.
Sure.
Um, but if you ever want to look at a 100%, 99.99% pure methylene blue, let me know and I'll send you the link.
Okay.
It
Sure,
is
go ahead and send it to me because I'm always I want to do research and compare. That's, like I said earlier, that's kind of how I've been trying different things and doing my own,
But I think
my guinea pig.
I sort of feel like the liquid, the tincture or whatever you want to call it, is somehow better than a capsule because we don't know how long the capsule sits. We don't know if, I don't know. It's just a thought of mine. But most people don't experience the blue tongue and the blue urine if they mix it with water.
Right, drink it with water. Yeah.
And you could probably drop it into the hydrogen peroxide as well. So hydrogen peroxide, it's interesting because there's another connection back to COVID. I was in the restaurant business during COVID, and the health department was just like all over our butts. They just wouldn't let it, 6 feet and all that bullshit. Anyhow, long story short, the only acceptable cleanser for the counters in the kitchen and in the dining rooms and in the restaurant was a mixture that had hydrogen peroxide in it. So so when you think about the fact that hydrogen peroxide theoretically can kill, surface bacteria, imagine if you're taking it internally or dropping it into bath water or during COVID, I nebulized with hydrogen peroxide. I have a nebulizer.
Right. Yeah.
I would just breathe it in.
Well, the thing that I found.
So good for you that you're doing all this stuff. It's great.
Well, if I can get back to what I was saying, the hydrogen peroxide, there's a couple of different ways that I've been using it. That's I start off with 3 drops. Now I'm up to like 8 drops in a glass of water. And then you build yourself up. They say up to 32 drops. I think you could probably do more, but there's a point of diminishing return, I'm sure. But that's just one of the ways I've been using it. The other way I've been using is I still use the 6%. I just dilute it further, and that's with a hot foot bath. And I have it's a electrical stimulator that I got when I was doing my not my rheumatology. It's from the diabetes, the retinopathy, and the neuropathy. And so I was given one of these foot baths that you drop these little electrodes in, and you zap yourself for whatever it is, 15 minutes, I guess. And so that's the same time frame that you need to do the foot bath. And the foot bath, what it does, they suggest a 3% solution, but I think you could probably up it to 6%. Currently, I just use half the amount instead of a cup in a gallon of water. I use a half a cup in a gallon of water, but it's as hot as you can stand. You put it in your foot bath and you soak your feet in that, and it does a couple of different things. One thing it does is it really softens your skin. So for the women out there that are always having to scrape their feet or have callus problems on the bottoms of their feet, this will take care of that problem 100% within a few days. And I know that my second wife, she had terrible calluses on her feet, and she used to, I got to go get my feet scraped, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to know this. But in any case, that's a real solution for that. But that's kind of an additional benefit. But that's not the reason to do the foot bath. Real reason to do the foot bath is to draw out the toxins and poisons, because your feet have the highest quantity of pores of anywhere in your body, the bottoms of your feet. Most people don't know this, but I've done a lot of research on it. It's very interesting. And so when you use the foot bath with the hydrogen peroxide, it literally draws out so much toxin, poisons, and heavy metals, which is huge, especially in our environment. You know, the state of Florida just passed a bill banning the chemtrails, but the language in the bill was like a slap in the face, because this is only for weather modification. They didn't take out the chemtrails. They said, well, you can't spray it for weather modification. Okay, well, that's all well and fine, but it doesn't take care of all the heavy metals and the strontium and I can't remember, barium, I guess, and
Arsenic.
arsenic, and there's one other aluminum.
There's look, I don't want to interrupt, but there's a bill in the Senate right now to
Yeah.
nationally.
Grant knows
Yeah,
that.
you know about it. So
Yeah, I've been watching it closely, and I've been writing to my senators.
right, everyone should be writing
Yeah.
to your senator, to your congressman. There was an
Yep.
what's the bill with the congressman? There's something else with the congressman. Was that the Voting Act? But anyway, yeah, we
That was about the crypto or something.
Oh, the crypto thing,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, so yeah, it has to be a federal thing. We're seeing a decrease in chemtrails. I don't want to go off on a tangent, but yeah, we're flooded with toxins. So we need to. I that's very interesting about the bottom of your feet. I didn't know that.
I'm sure Norm's read up on that as far as
Norm,
detoxing.
Norm, what do you think of baking soda in water? For
Did can you see my chat, my response?
yeah, I
Yeah,
can, but I don't think the
acid
people in the
Oh yeah. No, I think if you have any issues with acid reflux, or just just kind of a um, an acid versus alkaline condition or whatever.
Well, let me interject something, Norman. One of the other things, I've been doing lots of stuff, so I got a list like down my arm. On the baking soda thing, don't use Arm and Hammer. First of all, it's one of the worst, because I guess it has aluminum in it. It has all kinds of garbage chemicals in it. The best that I've found, believe it or not, is just the generic stuff off the counter, over the counter, that you get at your grocery store. Just don't stay away from Arm & Hammer. Stay away from the name. Anything that's name brand, just stay away from it, because they load that crap up with all kinds of junk.
And Kroger brand is bad too. They try to kill you.
I use Bob's.
Yeah, I use one it's a Walmart generic one, and they just has one ingredient, and because they have to disclose what the ingredients are. It doesn't even have any non encapsulated anything. It's just baking soda. So I use that. But the thing that I found with the baking soda is it's called the baking soda lemon shot. And you take 2 fresh lemons, and I wash my lemons with soap and water. I know that's crazy, but I do. I wash all my fruit with either baking soda or with vinegar, or with just dishwashing liquid, to get all the yuck off of the skin. Because I mean, I don't eat the skin anyhow, but if you squeeze in it, and you can squeeze some of that garbage off the outside into the inside. So back to what I was saying, with the lemon shot, lemon baking soda shot, it's 2 lemons. Pull the seeds out. They says you can strain it to get the pulp out. I like the pulp. I think that's got a lot of benefit to it. It's a lot of extra fiber. And then you mix in a teaspoon of baking soda in with it, and you swish it around. It'll foam up like crazy. You wait for it to settle down a little bit, and you just shoot it down. And it's especially been helping with my my sugar levels, and because I'm diabetic, and so that's my journey. One of my journeys is trying to cure myself, and I think I will eventually succeed. Um, the other thing is I've also been looking into stem cell therapy, and that may be a direction that I end up going. I've been talking to a couple of different clinics where they swear that it's 98% positive results from stem cell therapy, um, removing the diabetic condition. Which to me, that's how, if I have to sell my silver or gold to do it, my health is more important than anything. Because without your health, all the gold and silver in the world is not going to save you. So I've been looking into the stem cell therapy. And so amongst other things, but actually the shot, the lemon shot, you two lemons squeezed in the bottom of a glass, a teaspoon of baking soda, you mix it up, and once it stops, settle down, and you shoot it down. It's a little bit harsh. It's pretty strong flavor, but you get used to it. It's not bad. But I noticed a significant about between a 30 to 40% decrease in my sugar within 15 minutes, which to me, that's amazing. So if your sugar, you eat a meal and your sugar is up, you can go in and you can take another shot. But I take it before I eat, and I actually do a water fast with it. And I've been doing 3-day water fasts with this protocol, and I've been noticing some significant improvement, especially in my glucose recovery, after meals, where it would take an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours for my glucose to settle back down. I find that within less than a half an hour, I'm almost back down to normal, like before a meal. And I've also been noticing that my fasting glucose level has been better. And I do this protocol. You do it for 3 days, and then you take a break. But then in the meantime, I'll do a modified drink, and I just take it. Doesn't matter whether I'm eating or not, but and that's just similar. It's a lemon, fresh squeezed lemon, and a teaspoon of baking soda, and a 40-ounce cup of water, and you drink that. You can also, if you're hungry, you're on a water fast, and you say, I just can't stand anymore, I got to eat something. Then you eat a raw cucumber. Go ahead, Dan.
I'm sorry.
No, Grant, I just wanted to say that I signed my dad up for the Republic yesterday.
I saw that. Do you see my welcome?
Oh, yeah.
I sent you a welcome.
I think we're going to call this a wrap. We've been gone for an hour, but I think we'll be back on next week. I'm not sure of the timing yet, but I hope the time that we're having this meeting.
Thursday.
We're doing it going back to Thursday. Oh, it's just because of the Norman's thing. Okay, so
no, we're good. We're good next week.
Okay, so we're good next week. So we'll be doing the regular.
I'll let you know what my schedule's like, because I have a lot of stuff going on Thursday with the Republic.
No problem.
Hey, Grant, before I forget, I'll send you the link for methylene blue. Can you reply and send me the recipe that you're using for the foot bath?
Oh yeah, it's very simple. A gallon of water.
Wait. You guys,
I'll send it to you.
Send it. Okay, so we will see you guys next week on Thursday at 6 o'clock Eastern time. Yeah. 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Okay. So
next week I'll try to have my thoughts better organized. I had everything in my head, and then Norman kind of went on, and so I forgot. My memory's not very good, so I forget stuff.
Okay, so we'll see everybody next week, and have a great weekend, and just stay healthy. And contact Norman again. I'm going to put the website out. Where is that?
This one.
Okay. If you're interested in the Immunotec product, please reach out to Norman. It'll be beneficial to Daniela and I. So we're hoping that people will try that. Again, detoxing for using glutathione to detox helps with nanoparticles, heavy metals. The Lifewave product, we still support 100%.
And again, it's not expensive, so
And it's really not
really
expensive.
think about
It's
it.
kind of like the Lifewave, but you can do both. They both work together.
Yeah, it's like basically the same price for Lifeway.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So
yeah.
they're both really good together, and we'll see everybody next week. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, guys. You too.
All right.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Thank Norman
Be safe
Ray,
out there.
so much.
You too.